In 2025, Las Vegas posted its worst tourism numbers in 55 years. 12 straight months of declines. Visitor volume down 7.5%. And while the Strip was bleeding out, one city 450 miles north had its best month in decades. Nearly 500,000 visitors in August alone. Same state, same gambling laws. Completely opposite direction. The city Vegas spent 50 years trying to make irrelevant is now taking its tourists, its floor traffic, and its regulars. But here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. The exact same company that hollowed out Vegas already owns the biggest casinos in Reno right now. And I will show you exactly what they are quietly doing with them. That is reason number 4, and it is the one nobody is talking about. If Vegas ever ripped you off, let me know in the comments. It helps this find the people about to book the same trip. Now, let's count them down. Reason number 10. The price gap is now embarrassing. Picture checking into a mid-tier Strip hotel in 2026. Before you've touched a chip, before a single bet, you've already paid for the room, the mandatory resort fee for Wi-Fi you'd get free at a gas station, $30 to park your own car, and $15 for a bottle of water out of the gift shop fridge. You're $400 to $600 down just walking to the elevator. A full weekend, 2 nights with modest meals, a few drinks, some time on the floor, runs you $1,500 to $2,000 minimum. That's not a high roller trip. That's a couple from Sacramento who just wanted a weekend away. Now run the exact same weekend in Reno. Rooms at the Peppermill or Atlantis, $79 to $120 a night. Parking, still free. Resort fees, minimal or gone. The weekend that burns $1,500 in Vegas costs you $600 to $800 in Reno. Same casino floor, same tables, same slots. That's not a small advantage. That's a different category of value. This is what Vegas felt like in the 1990s, when the cheap room was the bait and gambling was the point. Reno still runs that model. Vegas killed it the day Wall Street decided every square foot needed its own revenue line. But the room is just the bait. The real damage starts the second you sit down, because the machines themselves have been quietly retuned to take more. That's next. Reason number 9. Reno slots pay out more. Sit down at a Strip video slot and watch your $20. It's gone in 5 to 10 minutes. The same 20 in Reno stretches to 20 to 30 minutes on the floor. That's the whole difference, and here's why it happens. Reno's machines are holding around 5.5 to 6 cents on every dollar. The Strip is holding more, and the penny slots up there are taking 10 to 11 cents on the dollar. Translated, your money simply lasts 30 to 40% longer on a Reno machine. Same lights, same spin. You just get to keep playing. And there's a visual tell. Walk up to a must-hit. By Progressive on the Strip and look at it. The ceiling has been pushed higher, the wins come slower, and the near misses are mapped to keep you feeling like you're one spin away, without ever getting there. In Reno, you still see the old math. Machines that actually cycle through wins, instead of just draining your credits on a timer. And if the slots still feel honest in Reno, wait until you see what they did to the blackjack tables. One rule change in Vegas tripled what they take from you, and almost nobody noticed. That's number 8. Reason number 8. The table game math still works in Reno. Vegas changed one rule at the blackjack table and tripled the house's edge. Same table, same dealer, same cards. They just quietly decided to keep more of your money when you win. Here's the rule. A real blackjack used to pay 3 to 2. Bet 10. Win 15. Most strip tables now pay 6 to 5. That same blackjack pays 12. A smaller payout every single time you hit the best hand in the game. Reno's major properties still pay the old 3 to 2, and you can still sit down in Reno for $5 a hand. $5. On the Strip, a $5 table is a museum exhibit. Minimums start at $25, and anything calling itself premium is $50 to $100 before you pull out a chair. A guy with $300 can play for 3 hours in Reno. That same $300 on the Strip is gone in 45 minutes, and the dealer's already looking past you to someone with a real stack. The table looks identical. The game you're actually playing is not. But the math is only half of it. The bigger thing Vegas lost can't be put in a percentage, and you feel it the second you walk in the door. That's number 7. Reason number 7. Free. Drinks and real comps still exist. Walk onto a strip floor and sit at a machine. An hour goes by. The cocktail server walks past you. Twice. You're not betting enough per spin to register, so as far as the floor is concerned, you're invisible. Now walk into the peppermill. The drinks are moving across the whole floor. Somebody comes by because you're a person sitting at a machine, not because an algorithm flagged your bet size. The reason is structural. Most of the peppermill's weekday floor is locals, people who live 15 minutes away with 3 other casinos to choose from. When that's your core customer, you can't treat them like a one-time extraction. They'll just leave and never come back. That pressure is what produces real hospitality. But let me be straight with you, because Reno isn't flawless. Walk into the back corner of the Nugget or the Grand Sierra, and you'll find the same flickering overhead lights and fraying carpet edges that defined the Strip right before the bulldozers showed up. That's not charm. That's deferred maintenance. And it's a warning sign. The question was never whether Reno is perfect. It's whether it still treats you like a customer worth keeping. Right now, the answer is yes. The official line out of Vegas is that the free drinks are still flowing. The people who've actually sat on that floor lately tell you something completely different. Number 6. And here's the thing Vegas can't fix, no matter how much money it throws at the problem. Because it's not on the floor at all. It's outside. Reason number 6. Reno comes with something Vegas can't buy. 45 minutes from the Peppermill, Lake Tahoe sits up in the Sierra Nevada. Beaches in August. Some of the best skiing in North America in January. Pyramid Lake is 1 hour east. Virginia City is 30 minutes south. And people are flying in for it. Reno Tahoe's airport had its busiest year since 2008. And it's still climbing. These aren't people passing through. They're booking rooms and staying multiple nights. Vegas has outdoor options too. Red Rock Canyon is genuinely worth half a day. But the average Strip tourist never sees it, because it was never part of what Vegas sells. In Reno, the outdoors are woven into the reason people show up in the first place. That's geography. No amount of capital investment can build a lake and a mountain range next to the Strip. And remember, the company sitting on top of Reno's biggest casinos is the same one we'll get to at number 4. Hold that thought. Because the real reason Reno treats you better comes down to one number. Vegas threw away. Reason number 5. Reno builds for locals. Vegas abandoned them. Remember those locals filling the Peppermill's weekday floor? Here's why that one fact is the whole ball game. When most of your floor is people who can walk out and never come back, you have to earn the return visit every single time. The drinks have to flow. The comps have to feel real. You're building a relationship, not running an extraction. Vegas inverted that logic over 2 decades. Tourists became the foundation. Locals became a rounding error. And it worked, right up until visitor volume started falling. Now the tourists are down 7.5%, and there's no local base underneath to stabilize the floor. The cushion's gone, because they spent 20 years throwing it away. Reno kept the cushion. Vegas bet the whole building on strangers showing up forever. And here's where it gets genuinely strange. Because the corporations that made those decisions in Vegas are the exact same ones now sitting on Reno. This is the one I promised you at the start. Reason number 4. The corporate double agent problem. The biggest casino complex in downtown Reno, including the El Dorado, the Silver Legacy, and Circus, all connected, is owned by Caesars Entertainment. The same Caesars that helped pioneer the resort fee model that broke Vegas. Sit with that. The company that taught the Strip how to nickel and dime you now owns the city everyone's fleeing to. And the early numbers show their regional business outperforming their own Strip operations, which means Reno is currently functioning as a pressure valve on Caesars' balance sheet. The customers they lost in Vegas drove 450 miles north and handed their money to a cheaper Caesars property instead. The playbook already exists inside the same company. Acquire the properties, connect them, then inject the Vegas virus. The fees, the tightened tables, the quarterly extraction target. Right now, Caesars is using Reno as a laboratory, testing exactly how many dollars they can pull out of a Sacramento family before that family gives up and drives to Thunder Valley instead. They're not building Reno up. They're scouting the carcass of the Strip for fresh territory to run the same play on. The profits coming off those Reno floors don't stay in Reno. They move up into a corporate structure that has already shown you in detail what it does to a healthy market once it decides to start extracting. So why hasn't it happened yet? Reno has one defense Vegas never had, and it's built into the map. That defense is sitting right across the California border. Reason number 3. Regional competition keeps Reno honest. Reno already lived through what happens when it gets greedy, and the bodies are still on the ground. The Sundowner, gone. The Golden Phoenix, gone. Properties that ran for decades, dead, because something cheaper opened closer to home. That something was California's tribal casinos. Thunder Valley, Cache Creek, Grattan, a multi-billion-dollar market sitting right between Reno and the California visitors it depends on. When they expanded, Reno's revenue cratered. So Reno's operators know exactly where the ceiling is. The moment they push room rates, tighten the slots, and bolt on the Vegas fee structure, those California casinos undercut them overnight. Vegas has no equivalent breathing down its neck. The thing that nearly killed Reno in the 2000s is now the brake keeping it honest. Reason number 2. Reno is selling the Vegas that no longer exists, and that honesty is exactly what the rest of the world is starting to notice, because Reno is now selling something Vegas literally cannot. The headlines are already turning. Travel publications are calling Reno a gambling town for regular people, like 90s Vegas before the mega resorts. The exact audience Vegas used to own is being told to go somewhere else. And that 90s line does a lot of work, because a lot of people remember it. The The sound of real metal coins hitting a metal tray when the machine paid. A $10 prime rib you didn't book 6 weeks out for. A $49 room with no resort fee invoice slid under the door at checkout. A dealer who cracked a joke instead of staring at a screen. Now compare that to the Strip today. QR code menus. $18 beers. A luxury room that feels like a high-end hospital suite with mood lighting. Vegas traded its soul for a real estate investment trust dividend and a luxury repositioning strategy. And Reno is quietly selling that soul back to the exact people Vegas pushed out. The travelers buying it aren't new to gambling. They're people who used to save up for Vegas, went, and came home feeling like they'd been fed through a machine designed to leave them empty. Vegas ran for decades on word of mouth, from people who came home raving. Reno's collecting those stories now. And that kind of momentum compounds in a direction the Strip can't easily reverse. But the deepest reason is also the one Vegas will never admit out loud. Because it's the secret that makes the entire casino machine run. Reason number 1. Vegas needs regular people more than it admits. Here's the psychology no casino will ever put in an earnings call. A whale dropping $50,000 on a single blackjack hand isn't there for the cards. The cards are identical to the ones in his living room. He's there for the room, the energy, the guy at the next machine who nudges his wife to look, the cocktail server who whispers to her colleague, the slow drift of regular tourists past the high-limit area, catching a glimpse of a chip stack worth more than their car. The performance needs an audience, and the Strip removed the audience. That's the secret those executives are terrified you'll actually understand. Without you, the regular person with $500 and a free weekend, the high roller is just a lonely guy in an expensive suit in a quiet room. You are the energy. You are the atmosphere that makes the whole machine worth running. Walk a Strip floor at 3 on a Saturday afternoon and feel it. Corridors that used to hum, quiet. Pool decks half full. You don't fix that with marble. You fix it with people. Ordinary ones. The kind who get genuinely excited about a $40 win. That energy is the thing high rollers actually travel for. Without it, the suite is just an expensive room. So Vegas pushed out the regular tourists, lost the atmosphere, lost the high rollers who needed that atmosphere. And now the cycle eats itself. Push out more tourists, lose more revenue, raise prices higher. Reno has that floor energy right now. And the moment it becomes consistent, the high rollers will come to perform in front of it. Which is exactly when Caesars, the same company from number 4, will recognize the pattern, adjust the pricing, and start the whole cycle over again. Reno isn't winning because it's better. It's winning because Vegas handed it 30 years of loyal customers. If this changed how you think about your next trip, the like button genuinely helps push it to people who need to see it. And if you want the full story of how Vegas did this to itself, watch this one next.